Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Ted Meyerson. I'm a volunteer from AARP Maryland. We have two other volunteers with us today, Bob Bush, who will be presenting, and Karen Morgan, who will be presenting in May. Um, is going to talk about government imposter scams, and I'm going to turn it over to Bob right now.
Thank you, Ted. Welcome, everybody. Again, my name is Bob Bush. I'm the AARP volunteer, and I do live in Florida. And I'm here today to talk to you about government imposter scams. We get a lot of these, and they seem to be increasing in very rapid numbers, especially related to COVID, which is coming up in another couple of weeks. And you'll see the calendar in just a few minutes. So let me share my screen here. All right. Again, this is the schedule. You can see here all these various subjects we're going to teach over the period between now and May 21st. And we'll see this calendar again at the end of this session. And you can find events relating to this by going to Fraud Watch Friday in your search window, Googling it, and AARP Maryland YouTube. You can do that either way. I'll show you that calendar again at the end. We live in a virtual world. We're connected by technology today. Think about the number of things you do, like online banking, telehealth, looking at your health records, tapped into your doctor's online account. We use cell phones almost constantly, emails, Facebook, Twitter, shopping line, everything else. Criminals are exploiting that we are using all of these things to try and basically steal our personal information and ultimately steal money, some kind of scam. So that's what we're doing and talking about today, is how to protect yourself basically from the criminals that are out there trying to get information about you to eventually take your money. This is a handbook from the Federal Trade Commission. They're the ones that are responsible for tracking, for the US government, for tracking fraud going on in the country. And you can see this is the 2019 edition here. I've been watching it for the 2020, but I haven't seen it come out yet. So they're a little slow in putting it out. But this lists a lot of information and, oops, sorry, random click there. It lists the top 3 categories. In imposter scams are second. We've already talked about some of these other things a little bit, but imposter scams is the second most common type of scam. And last year's 1.7 million. This is again 2019, and almost a quarter of those that were reported loss, and the median loss, which is the middle, is about $320. And I have a little bit more on that coming up. The goal today is to raise awareness about government imposter scams, to tell you how prevalent they are and give you some insight on how thieves go about trying to steal your identity and ultimately your money, and suggest some suggestions for protecting yourself from these people that are out to get your money. What is a government imposter scam? Well, first of all, we need to define that. And it's a scam. A scammer impersonates a federal or local government agent. And again, their goal is to take personal information and ultimately your money. So, they're posing as an agent, hoping to have you let your guard down and then get information from you. Here are the 3 most common types of government imposter scams: IRS, Social Security, and need something to do with money, giveaways or programs or emergency aid, things like that. So there was a lot of them out there when we had the first stimulus check. So I assume there was another batch happening right now as the second batch of the stimulus check comes out. So we're going to start on here with a closer look at these 3. Social Security. I have gotten this call at my house, robocall. I don't answer my phone, but it goes to my voicemail. I've gotten this several times over the last year or so. They're pretending they're from Social Security and they threaten you, you're going to lose your money. Now, for a senior, losing your Social Security is a very important thing for most seniors, very important thing in their lives. So it throws seniors into a panic. Again, they're trying to have you let your guard down and buy into their scenario. The second one is IRS imposters. And they basically threaten you with arrest. That's the key right there. Here, you're going to lose your money. Here is arrest. And then the third one is government programs having to do with money. And they promise, free money or giveaways or something special. So we're going to look at all these in a little more close detail as we move through this presentation. We'll begin with Social Security. Again, they threaten your payments will stop unless you call this number or answer the phone and give them information. Basically, what they're trying to get is their Social Security number. That's what they're after. And that's one of the things they're after. So when you think about it, it's kind of silly to say if someone from the Social Security is calling you and asking you what your Social Security number is, they would know your Social Security number. So that should heighten your senses right there to say this is probably not true. As I said, I got this call at least a couple of times over the last year. And seniors, are the target for Social Security. And again, they're using fear of losing your money. And the average beneficiary receives $1,500. I'm also an AARP tax aide, and we do free taxes for seniors. I've been doing this for a good number of years. And it's surprising the number of people. I always ask my clients, have you gotten one of these calls or emails? And very, very large percentage say, yes, they have. That and the IRS threat. So it's prevalent out there. The hook, your accounts is compromised. This is how they hook you. And your payments will stop. That would make my heart flutter a little bit if I thought I was losing my Social Security. It's an important part of my livelihood. I safe to speak for myself and many other seniors. And it could be a live call, and they could offer you, you're going to get a cost of living adjustments if you verify your personal information. Your Social Security has all your personal information. They do not need you to give them personal information. And there's an email you sign up to click for. Another one is Social Security identity theft protection. All of these are scams. Social Security does not call you out of the blue. Not going to happen. They just don't do it. It's part of their policy. And play this message from Social Security right here.
New message.
Your Social Security number has been suspended. If you do not contact us, your account will be deactivated.
Scammers are aggressive when they contact a potential victim. Social Security Administration employees will never threaten you for information or promise benefits in exchange for information. In those cases, the call is fraudulent and you should just hang up. Don't provide any personal or financial information to these thieves. Call the Social Security Fraud Hotline at 1-800-269-0271.
Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. Tech.
Hang on, my slide is not continuing to move here. Let me something different here. There it goes. My slide was frozen up for some reason. And prevention from Social Security scams. Screen your calls. Don't know who it's from, don't answer it. Let it go to your voicemail and don't pick up the phone. Social Security, as they indicated in that video clip, they don't call you out of the blue. And if you call Social Security on your own for questions, then of course they'll want to know your Social Security number. Big one right here. Never give out your Social Security number or personal information over the phone when someone has contacted you. If you have contacted them, that's a different story. You have initiated the call. Therefore, you're relatively safe to do that, but never give out information when they call you over the phone if you didn't initiate the call. And just because they give a telephone number to call back on this call don't use that number. That could be a bogus number. Go look up a social security number, a bona fide one, and use that. Don't use something they provide because they're giving you a false number. And then when you call back, somebody pretends that they are from Social Security and you've just been scammed. Now we're going to turn to IRS imposters. The key thing right here is they're going to threaten you with arrest. Okay? And that throws panic into many seniors. They're worried about fines and arrests. Scammers, they want bank transfers, a big operation with IRS scammers. As they say, you owe back taxes, you will be arrested unless you pay those immediately. And they want you to go get a prepaid card or a gift card somewhere and pay them by giving them the card number. That should light up your warning lights to say, this is a scam, because the IRS is going to ask you to send it by check or some kind of a direct deposit. They're not going to ask you for a prepaid card. Anybody asks you for a gift card or a prepaid card, going to be a scam. So the robocall will be, you owe back taxes, you'll be arrested. Or click here for a copy of your tax return to make corrections. They may say, you have an error in your tax return, click here and you can go in and correct your error without having to pay any fine or penalty. Those are, in fact, scams, and those are typical IRS scams out there operating in the world today. Prevention, again, same sort of thing. These same techniques apply to many of the situations. Don't answer your phone. IRS never calls you out of the blue. They are going to send you a letter. Okay, I can find an IRS video just like the Social Security one and have them say, we do not call you. They just don't do it. And never give out your Social Security number or other personal information over the phone. So you can see that's kind of redundant. Your preventions are pretty easy to remember. Don't answer the phone. Don't trust emails if you don't know where they came from. And don't give out information over the telephone unless you have initiated the call because you want some response out of the IRS. Finally, government programs may promise you money. Now we're turning away from the Social Security and the IRS to that third category I talked about with money. If an imposter promises you money at no cost to you, some kind of a grant, some kind of a government programs, some kind of a disaster relief, this would be big to call in your area if you've been hit by a hurricane or some major catastrophe. Be calling into that area code and offering people, free disaster relief funds, and these are scams. Be very careful of those. So they even may show up at your door, especially in a disaster area. They come in behind. I live in Florida. We have a lot of hurricanes down here, and they come in behind a hurricane and still start knocking on doors and promising people money. Just somebody knocking at your door, posing to be a government agent to help you in your disaster relief. Be very wary of those. What's the hook? It's a disaster. You need money. You're eligible for something. Just simple application. Give us some information, and we'll give you money. This is a deal only for your area because your area is a disaster area. Another one, pay only a small finder's fee here for processing. These are all scams. Prevention, back to prevention again. Screen calls, you'll see these the same sort of preventions here. Screen calls, don't answer if you don't know who it's from. If it's an unsolicited email or text, dump it into your trash can. Never give out your personal information to someone that calls you over the phone. If you can remember those basic things, you'll be well on your way to protecting yourself. We have a wrap up for today. IRS, Social Security, if they don't call you, these government agencies are not going to call you. They're going to send you a letter. Screen your calls again. Don't open up emails. Never give out your banking personal information over the phone. Another thing here, report suspected or actual scams. You can basically call your police, talk to them. You can go on to the Federal Trade Commission's website. There's a place you can report scams, and it's something you might want to do. Be very aware of offers of government money. Now, I put this in here just because I originally said the government does give away money, but right now they are. The second set of stimulus checks is coming out. I got mine the other day. Well, that's nice. It's nice the government's providing us basically money. It's a good thing. And you can join the Fraud Watch Network. What is the Fraud Watch Network? It's a group that presents information about scams going on across the nation, and you can actually narrow it down by clicking on a site there and going to your state and actually going down to the area you live in. You can use the area code, and they'll tell you what's tips and scams are going on in that particular area, and warning you of the latest scams. You can sign up for bi-weekly emails on the Fraud Watch Network. Simply go on to the ARP website, go to Fraud Watch. You can also use the Elder Hotline. It's a way to report fraud here. So what to expect? Well, you're going to get a response quickly. They say that you're not personally called it, but they say you can get a quick response here. Not going to make you wait a long time. You'll be assigned a case manager, and an important one. They promise to be nice and respectful to you. And again, there's a number here, 833 fraud. Okay, you can find those online, or you can go into the ARP website and also see how to get to those things. Here is the calendar again for the upcoming events. And Ted, if you would like to address in more detail how you get to these, since these are Maryland sites and you're more familiar than I am with them. Ted?
I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Okay, so sorry.
I didn't want to disturb your presentation.
That's okay.
All right. If you want to watch recordings of these programs, you can